Hello students. So in today's lecture we'll be discussing about integration. Alright. So let me just write the heading. Integration. So what is integration first of all? See, we integration in simple terms, if I tell you, it means it is addition, right? Integration is what? Simple terms, it means it is addition. Now, for a while, let us not get into the depth of what integration is. Let us see how did we come up with this idea first of all. So, is there any other way that we can use to add certain numbers? Say, for example, we can add 1 plus 2 plus 3 like that, say up to 10. So, this can be represented by sigma n from n starting, n starting from 1 and going up to 10, right? So, this is how we can represent this entire series. All right. Now, what is this symbol actually? What is the symbol called? So it is called as sigma. You must be aware of this already, right? It is sigma used for addition. Addition of what? So it is used for the addition of discrete numbers. It is used for the addition of discrete numbers. What do you mean by discrete numbers? See, when we add 1 with 2 here, are we also taking into account all the numbers between 1 and 2? Say when I add 1 plus 2, am I taking all the numbers in between 1 and 2? No. I'm only adding 1 with 2. And what is the answer? 3. Now between 1 and 2, there are how many numbers? Think about it. So we can write 1 point, so 1. Then we can write 1.000001 and say 1.000002 like that. Right? Is it so up to 2 we can write like that? Correct? No. When we write 1, say you have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have thought about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros and 1. Maybe somebody else, maybe your friend, he may tell that it is not 1.000001, but one more zero you can add. Somebody else might tell that it's 0.00000001. Somebody else may tell something else. One of they can add how many or zeros after the decimal, right? So between 1 and 2, there are infinite numbers. Only between 1 and 2, not between 2 and 3. No, between any two numbers. Between any two integers, or any two numbers for that matter. There are how many numbers? There are infinite numbers. Alright. So what we are doing here when we use sigma, when I say by using sigma we are adding the discrete numbers, I mean to say we are not taking into account all the numbers which are in between 1 and 2, which are in between 2 and 3, which are in between 3 and 4. We are adding 1 with 2, 2 with 3, 3 with 4 and so on like that. Alright. So sigma, so this is also an addition only. Sigma is what? A symbol for addition, for summation. But for discrete numbers, for example, 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8, let us say till 8 only. What is the value? 2 plus 4, 6. 6 plus 6, 12. And you get 20. So, the same thing you can represent like this also, sigma. And starting from 2, going up to, so let's say 2 and in fact, going up to 4. Starting from 1 it should be then. Okay, wait one second. So, starting from 1, yeah, going up to 4. Alright. So this is how we can represent summation inside sigma. And what is it used for? It is used to add discrete numbers. What if I want to add all the numbers between, starting from 1, between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, all these numbers I want to add. Then what I'll do? Then I'm going to use something called as continuous addition. Okay, continuous addition. Discrete means which you can count. Like you can count 1, 2, you can differentiate 2 from 1. No? Differentiate matlab you can count 1 and 2 separately. You getting my point? Like suppose say between 1 and 2 all the numbers you have to add, all the numbers. Starting from 1, ending at 2, all the numbers you want to add. Then can you count? You can't. So that is where you have to use continuous addition. And what is that? Integration. Okay. So one of the many ways that you can think of integration is that it is nothing but addition only. All right. This one idea you have to understand. Second thing is that integration is a reverse of integration is a reverse of what differentiation. This you must have heard a lot of times. Integration is a reverse of differentiation. Now, why do we call it the reverse of differentiation? Or what exactly is this? What is integration? What does it mean actually? So see, let us take one simple example. So what do we do? So let us say we have sin x. Okay. Say we want to find the uh, integration of not sin. Let us take cos. We want to find the integration of cos x. Okay. So before getting into all this, let me show you that the symbol used for integration is this. So many people tell that the symbol has come from the word summation. Okay, it is that s. So I'm not too sure of that, but yeah, this is a symbol for integration. All right. So if you want to say you find the integration of sin x, so you'll write that like this: sin x dx. If say we want to find the integration of cos x, so cos x dx. Or if you want to find the integration of I don't know, tan theta d theta. Not just trigonometry, we can use any function, right? Most of the functions we can use. So if you want to find the integration of, say, what else you can take, y square, so y square dy. So whatever variable you have here, with respect, I mean the same thing you should have here also, d of that variable. If you have say if you have root x square plus 1, so here what is the variable x, so here also you should have x. So see, slowly I'll be telling you so many different things about integration one by one. So I'm trying to go as slow as possible here. There's another way of thinking about it also, but for now we are good with this. Okay, we'll just see this kind of idea first. All right. So now coming back to our example. So let's say we want to find the integration of cos x. So you'll say we have cos x dx. So what is the answer? We don't know. As of now, we don't know. But we know that integration is the reverse of differentiation, right? Integration is the reverse. So think of it like this. On differentiating what? So differentiating, on differentiating what, you'll get cos x. When what you should differentiate so that you'll get cos x. Think about it. Obviously, so you have to differentiate sin x to get the value of cos x. Alright, so if I differentiate sin x with respect to x only, of course, what am I going to get? Cos x. Forget about this for a while. Let's focus here. So if I differentiate sin x, what will I get? I'll get cos x. So by that, so when we talk about integration being the reverse, when we talk about integration being the reverse of differentiation, so the answer for integration, okay, the answer of integration, like for example for cos x, if I want to find its integration, basically this answer is going to be that value, okay, very carefully listen, that value which if you differentiate should get the question, should give you the question basically. Okay, once again. So here you'll get sin x plus c you have to put, I'll tell you why. So you can put c or k or whatever, but generally we use the symbol c. Alright. So next, say, what else you know? Let us take secant square x. How do you read this? Integration secant square x dx. So what you should differentiate? So in this box, we have to put some what do you call function, okay, which if we differentiate should give you the question. Okay. So what I should put in this box so that on differentiating this, I'll get secant square x. Forget about dx, I should get secant square x. What I should put here? Tan x. If I put tan x, what is the differentiation of tan x? I mean, if y is equal to tan x, I am expecting you to know this. Y dash will be how much? Secant square x. Okay, you getting the idea? Okay, one more example. Say, let us say we have to find the integration of x dx. Alright, we have to find the integration of x dx. Now, I'll put a box. What I should put inside this box so that on differentiating that function, you should get x dx. What should I put? Say, for example, if I put x square, okay, differentiation of x square is what? If y is equal to x square, then differentiation, so dy by dx of x square is what? dd, so differentiation of x square is 2x. Alright, we have 2x. So if we put x square here, we should get 2x. But here we have only x, then what? So if I put by 2 here, okay, inside the box itself, so inside the box, let me in fact increase the size of this box. So if I put inside the box x square by 2, so this I'm going to differentiate. So if I differentiate this, what I'll get x. How? Differentiation of x square is 2x, but I already put one more 2 in the denominator, so 2 will get cancelled. You should get 2. Let's see. Are you getting the point? So when you differentiate the answers for integration, you get the question basically. So that is the reason why we say integration is the reverse of differentiation. Okay? This is how we define, not define exactly, we think of integration actually. So the main root of integration is to is to do what? Addition. What type of addition? Continuous addition. What do you mean by continuous addition? If we talk about this 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, is this continuous addition up to 5, say for example? No, it is not. Then what is this kind of addition called? Discrete. Okay, fine. No issues. What about continuous addition then? If I want to add all the numbers, so you know this, right? In functions, you must have learned in your first year this bracket, inclusive bracket, exclusive bracket. We exclude this. I expect, I hope that you understand this. Like if you use the square bracket, so we have this bracket and this bracket. These are called as open brackets, and these are called as square brackets. When we use square brackets, we mean to say we are taking all the values between 1 and 2, all the values between 1 and 2, including 1 and 2. And if we use this, if we use the second open brackets, it means that we are using all the values between 1 and 2, but 1 and 2. We are not using 1 and 2, but all the values between 1 and 2. What about in the first case? All the values between 1 and 2, including 1 and 2 itself. Alright? Okay. So here, of course, here it is not that square bracket. Here it is just a normal bracket only. We are not talking. So here, whenever we talk about domain, range, first year functions, very important. Basically, whenever we have an interval, we use these brackets. Anyway, fine. Coming back to our point. So if I take all the values between 1 and 5, in fact, I want to add all the values. And how will I add? Using continuous addition. We'll see that. And that is a function. That is the use of integration basically. And I think you already know the use of differentiation, that geometrical meaning, basically the slope. Generally, we denote that by dy by dx. The rate of change of y with respect to x. This also we have to see. So we'll see this also. When I start teaching you things related to differentiation, I'll teach you like how we use this, how we interpret this in physics. That also I'll tell you. Anyway, so this is one of the second ways that we can think of integration. Right? One thing that you have to know, integration is used to add, continuous addition, and the second thing, just now I told you, it is the reverse of differentiation. Okay. Now let us see certain formulas and how to use them. Now see, in integration, basically we have two types: indefinite integration and definite integration. So most likely, see here in this we are going to use a formula, what type of different integrals we are going to use, different functions we are going to implement, these things we are going to see. In definite integration, we are going to learn how to find areas, we'll see all those things. So this will be covered in mathematics. So this is a very big part of mathematics, very, very important part. So I will teach you obviously. So we will look at all these things from the physics point of view. Physics, the application of integration in physics. From that point of view, we'll see. All right. Okay. So let us start with indefinite integrals first of all. Indefinite. Indefinite integration. Okay. So what is the first formula that you have to know? The first thing that you have to know is x power n dx. How do you read this? Integration of x power n with respect to x. Whatever you have beside d. So dx means what? You are integrating this function x power n with respect to what? Variable x, like that. Okay, so what is the answer here? X power n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus constant also you have to write. I'll tell you why. In a while I'll tell you why. First get used to it, then I'll tell you. Okay, how do we solve questions based on this? So let us take one simple example. So say we have to find the integration of x squared dx. Okay. Now in comparing the parameters with the formula, what is the value of n? Value of n is 2. So what should the answer be? X power 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 plus some constant c. So what will you get? X power 3 by 3 plus c. Okay. On differentiating this, will you get this function again? Will you get x square? See, check. So on differentiating, okay, on differentiating, what will you get? Differentiation of x. So 1 by 3 will go outside the differentiation. Differentiation of x cube is what? 3x square. Differentiation of constant is what? 0. 3 and 3 cancel. You are getting x square. Alright? Fine. So that is why we call integration the reverse of differentiation. Next. Suppose you have 1 by x power 3 dx. Then how? This can be written as x power minus 3 dx. Okay. So in place of n, what do you have? 3. Okay. In place of this n here, what do you have? 3. So how will you do it? X power minus 3 plus 1 by minus 3 plus 1 plus c, and that gives you x power minus 2 by minus 2 plus c. So this is your answer. Okay. So this is how we use this formula. What happens if n is equal to minus 1? Say for example, if we have integration of 1 by x dx, then so this can be written as x power minus 1 dx. Then what? X power minus 1 plus 1 by minus 1 plus 1 plus c. What is x power minus 1 plus 1? X power 0. Okay. What is 1 minus 1? 0. Now in the denominator, you are getting a 0. Is that possible? Is this a valid expression? In the denominator, can we get 0? We can't get 0. It is undefined. So basically, from here, what do we learn? From this, what do we learn? That n cannot be equal to minus 1. Here, if n is equal to minus 1, only then it will become 1 by x, no? Yes or no? Here n is equal to minus 1, see? And that is why it is becoming 1 by x. So that cannot happen. Then what? How do we find for this? We'll see that. Now only we'll see. Next we'll see that only. Okay? So, if n is equal to 1 for this formula, sorry, minus 1, so then it is not applicable. Like x power n plus 1 by n plus 1 is true only when n is not equal to minus 1. Why? Because it will become undefined. Just now we saw. Then how do we find it? Alright, let's think in terms of the reverse of differentiation. So 1 by x dx you have to see. So on differentiating what? So what you should put on inside this box so that you'll get 1 by x. Think about it. Log x. Log x to the base e, or ln x also you can call that. Alright, plus c. So basically if you differentiate this entire thing, so this is going to become 0 anyway. Differentiation of log x is what? 1 by x. So integration of 1 by x is what? Log x, simple. So integration of 1 by x is log x plus c to the base e basically. So that's why sometimes in the textbook you may find ln x plus c. So log x to the base e in short form it is written as ln x. Both are same. Alright. Okay. What's the next formula? Integration of e power x dx. So what you should put inside this box so that on differentiating you should get e power x. What you should put? E power x. Differentiation of e power x is e power x only. Right? Okay. Then what do we have? Sin x. What you should put inside this box so that you should get sin x dx. So see, if I put cos x, differentiation of cos x is sin x. Alright, so should I put cos x? Yes, cos x plus c. Sorry. Next, so if you have, so we'll come back to this one second. So integration of cos x dx. So what I should put here so that you'll get cos x. So here of course I should put sin x, and differentiating sin x I'll get cos x, correct? So that's it. So sin x plus c. Here, don't you think you should have a negative sign? So here, why you should have a negative sign? Because differentiation of cos x is what? Minus sin x. So either you have to put a minus sign here or just put a minus sign here. So differentiation of minus cos x is, so see differentiation, one second. Differentiation of minus cos x is what? So differentiation of cos x is anyway minus sin x. Minus into minus plus. You understood this? Okay. Next. Integration of secant square x dx. So what you should put here so that you will get differentiation of whatever you put here should become secant square x. So what you should put? Tan x. So like this is how you're supposed to think. So there are so many formulae apart from these also. Alright, so all those things eventually we'll learn. Everything we don't want to learn now only. Slowly we'll learn about it. Alright? Now there are certain properties that you have to know. Simple ones I'm going to tell you. Suppose say we have a problem like this, x square plus 5 dx. So how do we integrate? So if there is a plus or a minus, okay, let's start with plus only otherwise. You can split the integration. That means you can write x square dx plus 5 dx. Okay, x square into dx is x square dx, 5 into dx is 5 dx. You can break the integration, segregate it, split it. Now one by one again we'll see how to integrate this. So what is the integration of x square dx? So just now we saw the formula. X bar n dx is what? X bar n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus c, right? So what is in place of n here? 2. So directly I'll write 2 plus 1 3 divided by 3. So integration is over. Plus this constant I'll put in the end. Only after integrating all of them I'll put the constant. How do we integrate this? How do we integrate this? So see in differentiation also, say d dx of 5x square. What we could do there, we could take out, or we used to do solve it like this only. This 5 we can take outside the differentiation. D dx of x square will do. Then differentiation of x square is 2x. So this 5 as it is will put and 2x will write. So this will make it 10x. Even let us try to make it more familiar. So if you have y square is equal to, sorry, y is equal to 5x square. How do you differentiate? So y dash, so dy by dx y dash is equal to 5 as it is will put. That means we are keeping it outside the differentiation. So what is that? 5 as it is will put into 2x. What is the answer? 10x. Alright. So here also this constant can be taken outside the integration. So what will you get? 5 integration of dx. Now what is integration of dx? What is the integration of dx? Think about it. So see, this thing I've already integrated. I got the value as x cubed by 3. How will you, so what is the integration of dx? See, I told you, integration means what? Addition. Suppose say we have some wire of length x. We have some wire of length x. One very small part of this, is dx. Dx means very small part of the wire. Like that, dx, 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 dx. If I keep on adding up to this last point, starting from A, ending at B, what will I get? Total length. What is the total length? X. Okay, what is the total length? X. So whenever you have integration dx, you should get x. Answer I'm telling you, x plus c. Integration dy, y plus c. So whatever you have here, that same thing you'll get. Okay, integration d root x plus c. Integration d tan x plus c. See, if you notice very carefully, uh, basically what happens is, okay, fine. For now, just let us not get into that. But if you can observe, well and good. Like d and the integral is getting cancelled basically. We'll see that kind of idea also, but for now, you have to understand this first. So here we have 5 integration dx. So integration of dx is what? Only x. Plus c, I'm going to put for this all and this together. Okay, so x cube by 3 plus 5x and now plus c. So basically plus c should put after integrating all the terms. There are two terms here, so after integrating both the terms you have to put plus c. Simple. Alright, let us take one more example. So say we have to integrate x square plus sin x minus e power x. What we can do here, we can split. So x square dx plus sin x dx, okay, minus e power x dx. So for this first one, which formula we are going to use? Integration of x power n dx. What is the formula? X power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Here in place of n, what do we have? We have 2. So you get x power 3 divided by 3. Take out the symbol. After integrating, so this is after integrating, this is x power 3 by 3 using this formula. Alright. Next, what is the integration of sin x? So integration of sin x dx, how much? Minus cos x. This makes it minus cos x. Plus c I'm going to put in the end. Integration of e power x is how much? Integration of e power x is e power x only. So minus e power x. For all the three, I'm going to put 1 plus c basically. So this should be our answer. So what is the answer? X cube by 3 minus cos x minus e power x plus c. Alright, you're getting the point. So what are we doing here? We are splitting the integration. Separately we are integrating each one of them. And then we are finally adding plus c to the answer. Okay? Alright? Next. Alright, so let us discuss some basic questions on integration, right? So the question is that we have to integrate the following questions with respect to x. Alright. So the first question is integration of x cube dx. So what is the integration of x cube dx? I mean x cube basically. So we have to use this formula. Integration of x power n dx. Okay, let me write this properly. Integration of x power n dx is equal to how much? X power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So plus c is there always, obviously in indefinite integration plus c we always have to keep writing. So if I don't write, just know that you have to write. So you have to write this basically. So if you use the formula, what will you get? Here in place of n we have 3. So x power 4 by 4 plus c you have to write here. Alright, next question. So integration of x minus 1 by x dx. So how will you integrate this? So integration x dx minus 1 by x dx. We can split, right? So integration of x, for that we have to use this formula. X power 1, it is not minus 1, this is plus 1. So we can use that formula for this, right? So 1 plus 1 is 2 divided by 2 minus. Can we use this formula for this? We can't use. Why? Because if we take this if we write this like this, x power minus 1. So here in place of n, if I put minus 1, it will become undefined. The denominator here will become undefined. So that's why we cannot use n is equal to minus 1. So here what is the formula? We know for the formula for this. What is that? Integration of 1 by x dx is equal to log x to the base e or ln x. Okay. So let me write ln x here. So whenever you have log x to the base e, in short you can write ln x there, right? Alright, fine. Plus c. Got it? Alright, fine. Next question. Third question. Say we have e power 2x plus 1 by x square dx. How do we do this? See, first split it. E power 2x dx plus 1 by x square dx. This one is very easy to solve. So x power minus 2 dx, we have to use this formula. X power n dx is equal to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1, which makes it x power minus 2 plus 1 by minus 2 plus 1. So that will become minus 1 by x. Right, this will become basically x power minus 1 by 2. X power minus 1 is minus 1 by x. x power minus 1 is 1 by x, and minus 2 plus 1 is minus 1. So that I'm writing like this. Alright, fine. So this formula we are going to use here. Okay, what about for this? We know the formula for e power x dx, and that is what? E power x plus c only. But do we know the formula for e power 2x dx? If you don't know, think about it in terms of differentiation. What you put here inside the box so that you'll get e power 2x. Think about it. So if I put inside this box, if I put e power 2x, so what is the differentiation of e power 2x? Differentiate. What is the differentiation of e power 2x? E power 2x into 2. Chain rule you have to use here. Okay? E power 2x into 2. So basically the answer will become 2 into e power 2x. But we want only e power 2x. So what you should do? By 2 you should do. So here inside the box, if I put e power 2x by 2, what is the differentiation of e power 2x? Differentiation of e power 2x is 2 into e power 2x. Just now we saw. But we have one more by 2 here. So 2 cancel and you'll get this answer. So basically what you should do is integration of e power 2x is e power 2x by 2 plus c. This is one of the ways how you can think about it. Or simply what you can think about how, like I'll just tell you the method, like simple technique. So whenever you have linear variables, linear function otherwise, linear function, the power of x should be 1, or it should be like a polynomial, single, it should not have multiple, what do you call, it should not be a quadratic or cubic power. It should be a linear power, right? It should be a linear function also, in fact. Like by that I mean to say, if you have sine of ax plus b, forget about that integration, just sine of ax plus b. Is this a linear function here? Is there a linear function? Yeah, there is a linear function. Ax plus b is a linear function, right? Fine. Anyway, if you have a linear function like this, e power 2x, or for that matter, even if you have 2x plus 3 or 2x minus 5, they're all linear values, linear functions only, these powers here. So for such kind of functions, what you can do is first integrate this, thinking about this as e power x. Like say in your mind, you should think of it as what? E power x. Just think of it like e power x. Is it e power x? No, no, no. Just think of it like that. Alright, fine. Then integration of e power x is what? E power x only. But what is there here actually? 2x. 2x. Think of it as e power x, but whatever is there like 2x, 3x, that you should write off. Divided by the differentiation of this value. Differentiation of 2x is what? 2. So by 2 plus c. Either ways you can think of it. The first method that I showed you, that's more of a concept, and the second one that I'm showing is like a trick or something. All right. As we go forward, you'll see more of all these things. So fine. For now, I'm just integrating this directly. The integration of e power 2x is what? E power 2x by 2. So for both of them combined, okay, let me just integrate both of them only simultaneously. So integration of e power 2x is what? E power 2x by 2 plus integration of this value is what? Minus 1 by x. So minus 1 by x. Let's see. Alright? Easy? Next. See, the more you practice these things, the better you'll get. These are simple things only, but you have to practice. So integration of 1 by 2x plus 3, how will you do it now? Is this a linear function? Yes. See, the power of x here is 1. Alright, fine. How do you integrate this? So first you can think of it as, so there are two ways of doing. First you can think of it as simply 1 by x. Is it 1 by x? Not at all, it is not. But you can think of this expression as 1 by x. So what is integration of 1 by x? Ln x plus c, correct? So similarly using that, so you should get ln, in place of x what you should put? 2x plus 3. But is this x? No. So divided by differentiation of this is what? So 2. 2x differentiation of 2x plus 3 is what? 2 plus c. Alright, did you understand this? Okay, see, step by step let us do it in a different method. So 1 by 2x plus 3 dx we have. Okay. So I'm showing you in a different method now. So what we are going to do here is we are going to say let 2x plus 3 is equal to t. We are assuming it to make it easy. Right? Now, first step is this. Second step, you have to differentiate basically with respect to. So differentiate. One second. So whatever variable you have on the right hand side, with respect to that, you have to differentiate. So here, differentiate with respect to t. How much will you get? How much will you get here? So you'll get 2. Differentiation of x with respect to t is what? Dx by dt. Plus differentiation of any constant is 0 anyway. Differentiation of t with respect to t is what? 1. So what you can do is 2 dx by dt is equal to 1 you can write, or you can write 2 dx is equal to dt. 2 dx, or further also you can simplify that dx is equal to dt by 2. So what are we doing here? We are going to substitute. This method is called a substitution method. Alright, substitution method. Of course, there are many methods in integration with using which we can may simplify the questions. In fact, without doing this also we could have solved this question like this. Think of this entire, in your mind only you think of it as x. So integration of 1 by x is ln x. But is this x actually? No, it is 2x. So I told you, whenever there is a linear function like this, 2x, you have to differentiate this once again, and whatever answer you get, that you have to divide this entire expression with. Like suppose 2x plus 3, differentiation of 2x plus 3 is what? So differentiation of 2x is what? 2. Differentiation of 3 is what? 0. So 2x plus 3, differentiation of 2x plus 3 is 2. By 2 you should do. Anyway, fine. Moving on. So yeah, coming back to this second method. In place of dx, so look here, in place of dx I can put dt by 2. In place of dx I can put dt by 2 integration. In place of 2x plus 3 what I can put? In place of 2x plus 3 I can put t. So 1 by t dt by 2. Do you know the integration of 1 by t? So you must be wondering now, we know the integration of 1 by x dx, but 1 by t we don't know. So see, it doesn't matter if it is 1 by t. So this, first of all, this 2 I'm kicking outside the integration. So what do you have? dt by t. So yeah, like I was saying, it doesn't matter if it is 1 by x dx, 1 by y dy, or for that matter 1 by tan x d tan x. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have here, if you have here, it will act like 1 by x only. Okay? So dt by t. What is dt by t? So 1 by t dt. What is the integration of 1 by t dt? It is like 1 by x dx only. So this 2 keeping outside, what is the integration here? ln t. ln t plus c. But what is t actually? T is, oh sorry, this is in the denominator, right? This 2 and this 2, they are in the denominator, no? Yes or no? See, they are in the denominator only, no? This 2. By mistake I wrote in the numerator. Fine. What will you get? In place of t, you have to put this value again. What value? 2x plus 3. So 1 by t ln 2x plus 3 plus c. Are we not getting the same value? Why break our head and do so many things? Of course, you'll see, after you learn integration, these are very easy things to do. Once you become a pro at integration, which you will be eventually, because you have a lot of integration, these things will become very easy to solve. Okay, so this is method 1, this is method 2. Alright, fine. Now next question. Fifth one. Fifth question is, what is cos 4x plus 3? How will you integrate this? See, it's a linear function, no? Inside. So, integration of cos 4x plus 3 is equal to, first, integrate cos directly. Think of this entire thing as normal x. Integration of cos x is sin x. But is it x actually? Is this x actually? No. What is that? 4x plus 3. So if it is not x, I told you have to differentiate this again. So differentiation of 4x plus 3 is 4. Divide that by 4. Divide this entire thing by 4 plus c. Okay. What is the second? What is the substitution? I mean the t method that we saw. So let 4x plus 3 is equal to t. Okay. We are just assuming. You can take t, u, v, whatever you want. Alright. Now differentiate. This is the first step. Differentiate with respect to whatever you have on the right hand side. So t. So differentiation of this 4x plus 3 will be how much? 4 is a constant, so you'll get dx by dt. Differentiation of 3 is 0 and differentiation of t is 1. Right? So what will you get here? 4 dx is equal to dt or dx is equal to dt by 4. So what do we do with this? So in place of, so let us write the integral cos 4x plus 3 dx. So in place of dx I'm going to put dt by 4. Okay. In place of dx I'm going to put dt by 4. In place of 4x plus 3. 4x plus 3 I'm going to put t. So what will you get now? So we'll get cos t dt by 4. This 4 is a constant, it will go outside the integration. So cos t dt. It has become a simple integration. I told you it doesn't matter here if you have t, here also if you have t, that only matters. Suppose if you had like this, cos t dx, can you integrate? Now you can't integrate. But whatever you have here, t, and here also if you have t, then you can integrate. So integration of cos t dt is what? Sin t. So for 1 by 4 sin t plus c. So what are you getting? Sin t by 4 plus c. Alright, and what is t equal to? T is equal to 4x plus 3. So just put that value. So sin 4x plus 3 divided by 4 plus c. Are we getting the same value or not? We are getting the same value. Okay, fine. So see, this is how we do indefinite integration. See, there is a lot more. This is not even, I would say, 2 or 3% or maybe 5%. There's a lot more integration that you'll learn in mathematics. But these things are good enough to understand how to apply these things in physics. Okay? So this is the part 1 of integration. In part 2 of integration, I'm going to teach you definite integration. Alright? I'm going to teach you definite, like what is the meaning of this and how we are going to use it. So more or less same thing only. There's that some certain extra things, like suppose say if we have x dx, I'm going to put some limits here, like say from 1 to 2 or something like that. And we are going to talk about areas also. We're going to talk about areas also. Alright, anyways, fine, don't think about all these things too much. We'll get back in the second session. And fine then. Okay, thank you.